Hey, hey, hey.
Hello. Welcome back.
I'm back in studio.
Finally, for hopefully a while now.
Yeah, I don't have any other trips planned.
That's exciting.
There's nowhere
or
fun
sad.
to go.
Yeah. That's
No, we always have these two trips and they always fall. The first one, American Farm Bureau Federation Conference, is normally the beginning of January and it keeps pushing back. And then it's right on the tail of the co-op conference. And then normally we go to Sanibel, like literally directly after that. That's just how that one always falls. But Farm Bureau was so late that they all seemed, and we didn't go to Sanibel. So no Sanibel for us this year.
So now you're home for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm home. Bill goes to DC a couple times, but other than that, we have nothing planned.
That's kind of nice, though. I mean, to me, it's not nice because right now I'm really craving a vacation. Like
I like to be home.
You do like to be home. I just am at that point of winter where I'm like, I need warmth, and I have nothing to look forward to is my problem.
But you do. Like, think long-term out. You have a couple good trips coming. What's your first one?
Well, we're going...
Your sister-in-law's birthday?
Yeah, well, I'm going next month just with Liv down to Tennessee for softball.
Isn't that crazy? The spring break is next month?
It's literally like 4 weeks away. And so I'm not looking forward to going for softball just because whatever. But I was like, it's going to be 70 degrees and sunny. So
I love the Smoky Mountains. You were going to have so much more fun than you think.
I've actually never been. So
you have to go on a night coaster, one of the mountain coasters. You have to go on one during the day, and you have to go on one during the night. And you have to not use your brakes when you go down the mountain. Let her rip.
Oh, that's like, remember when we did the coaster at Holiday Valley?
So it's that times a bunch.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, so I have that coming up. And then in June, we're going to Savannah for my sister-in-law's birthday. And then in July, we're going to, which I keep saying we're going to the Outer Banks. And apparently it is not actually the Outer Banks.
Where are you going?
It's further south than the Outer Banks. It's Atlantic Beach. And I was under the impression that was part of the Outer Banks.
Are there sand dunes?
There are, and it is all the same. But I am incorrect in stating that it is part of the Outer Banks, which I have now learned this just yesterday.
Well, it must be really nice because they picked it for their wedding destination.
Yes. And so we're doing that in July. So we have stuff on the calendar. It's just I want to go now.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
I understand. I don't want to go anywhere right now.
Right. Well,
unless it was 80 degrees and sunny.
Right. And you have like no work to do when you're there. Like true vacation.
Yeah. So this last conference, I actually enjoy this. So this is the cooperative, like a bunch of farmers and that are members of co-ops, like your electric company, like Welch's Grape Juice was there because that's a cooperative. It's farmer owned. Ohio Farm Bureau, nationwide, all cooperatives, cooperative driven, frames of business. So the speakers are always so good. Like I enjoy hearing about food, and fiber updates. I mean, it's totally like nerdy. A lot of the wives, most of the wives don't go, and I like to go.
But I don't think
I'm his little shadow. I just like tag along.
As long as he doesn't care, I think it's fine.
No, he would prefer me to go. And in fact, the one that started at 7 a.m., I was just going to sit in bed and drink my coffee and walk up and get I had a $35 breakfast voucher every morning. If that tells you how much breakfast was there.
Right. Give a little inkling.
Takes all of the $35. So he's like, well, I thought you would go with me. And I'm like,
But that's sweet that he wants you to.
Yeah. Because I know people, and then I just talk to people, and then he talks to people.
It's probably a little bit of an icebreaker also.
Yeah, it is fun. And I know most of the people that are there. So it was fine. But I was not planning on going, and I said that I earned some major wife points. Actually, someone told me I earned major wife points by being there at 7 a.m. He's like, my wife is still in bed.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine. So that's not really a vacation.
It wasn't, but we still hung out. Well, the one night, he seriously slept because he has other meetings that he goes to. We didn't have dinner because we had a 2:00 lunch when we got in. Our luggage got lost. It was a whole thing. We had no luggage for the whole first day, which was actually fine. And so we were waiting for the luggage to come, but he came back at 5:30. And then he's like, I'm not hungry. I'm like, frankly, I'm not either. Let's see how we feel closer to 7:30. It was this resort is so nice.
Yeah.
It's, La Quinta. So it's actually outside of Palm Springs. It's La Quinta, but that's La Quinta Resort and Spa. So you can look it up. It is just absolutely beautiful, but there's not a lot to do there. And I didn't have a car. So you'd have to Uber places. So, I mean, you walk around the resort, it's gorgeous. You can play tennis, pickleball, go to the spa, all those things. But I didn't really do any of those things because I was in the conference. And then I sat by the pool and podcast with you.
Yeah.
So I have to share what happened with the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Because Danna wouldn't have known this and nobody else would have either because I was not on video. So the pool is fairly dead because it was like 69 degrees, but sunny and so pretty that day. And so I kind of found a table far off in the corner and I set my stuff all up, and over walks the gentleman that you probably heard on the podcast. And he was really cute. He was probably in his 80s. He kind of reminded me of my father-in-law. I'm not even sure Jim would do this. So I'm like pointing to my phone and like, you know, trying not. I'm like, oh, he just wanted to know how I got in the pool because he was trying to figure out how he's supposed to get in. He sits down with me and he sat there the entire podcast and listened. And
maybe
so
we have a new listener.
So then when we were finished, he said, I don't normally like to eavesdrop on conversations, but that was really interesting. And I said, oh, I can't believe you thought that was interesting, but it was actually a podcast and I was doing my podcast. And he's like, well, you should have added that the rapper dated what's his name? Dated Serena Williams.
Drake.
Because
we were talking
Serena
about
Williams,
Drake and
then
Kendrick
they
Lamar.
broke up. That's why she was dancing.
Right.
And so it was just hilarious. I mean, he was totally tracking the whole conversation.
I love it.
And so he just sat there with me.
I think that's awesome.
So I had a little friend to podcast.
that's
And
nice.
part of me thought I should just incorporate him in the podcast because he sat there the whole
He
time.
could have been our special guest.
He could have been our special guest. He's from New Jersey. He comes out there every winter. He told me his little story.
I love it.
And so we had someone live on set with me, just not talking. So it was very bizarre.
See, the people you meet on vacation. So that's a book, actually.
I always used to. I read a book. I read a book.
Oh, yeah.
Five Star
The 5-Star Weekend
by
Ellen Hildebrand.
So it was very good.
It's a good book. It's interesting, but it's a little messed up.
It is. Like part of it when I started reading, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Like,
so I like books that have a little bit of mess up with them. Like a little bit of like, oh, that's a little freaky.
Screwed up relationships?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, these are some screwed up relationships.
So like I'm reading a lot. I read a lot. Right now I am on, you guys would laugh at me, Kristin.
I do not read a lot.
No, but I downloaded this new app. It's called Bookmory, like memory, but Bookmory. And you can track like everything that you're reading. And so because I always forget if I've read a book or like not necessarily what it was about, but like, you know, someone will be like, have you read this? I'm like, I think so. Some of the titles are also similar. So I started tracking.
So if you're a reader, this is a good app to download.
It's a great app to download.
Do you have to pay for this one?
You do not. It's free. And you have a book calendar.
Spell it out.
Shoot, hold on now. BOOK. Gosh darn it, Kristin.
She can't spell.
Well,
but if I can't find it, you're not going to find it.
BOOKMORY. Bookmory. And another one is Goodreads. Goodreads is more popular, but I think I like Bookmory.
And if you have a library card,
you can use Libby or you can use Hoopla, and you can link your library card to them, and you can get books for free. Audiobooks, because I love to listen to audiobooks a lot, but I actually like to have both the paper or the actual book as well as the audio because I go back and forth. But I am reading. So I just finished a book last week. Well, I've read 4 books for February so far, but I read a book by Judy Blume. This is a total side note, but if you were a fan of like Judy Blume as a kid, I had no idea she writes for adults now. Yes. There was a reason I was talking about this and I don't remember what it was, but I know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. I read 7 books in the month of January, and I would say 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 7 were like, I can't say the F word, but like effed up, like really messed up. Like, so I started reading this one girl, Frida McFadden, if you like real, like kind of messed up books. I read 2 of hers last month, The Boyfriend and the Teacher, and I just started The Crash today. But yeah, so out of 7 books last month, 4 of them were like that. And I've only read 4 so far this month. And
does this make you feel like your marriage is better?
It's not necessarily just,
relationships.
Life. My life is better.
Well, in the last like 10 years, I probably didn't even read 7 books. So.
Yeah, I love to, you know what? Here's the thing. For the first 6 months of the year, I have time to do it. I don't have the time to do it in the, late summer and fall. So
the first month and a half, I don't have time to do anything.
Of the year.
Yeah. I feel like it's very busy.
Well, that's like where we've been so far.
Yeah.
And now you'll kind
of
chill
I read 1 book.
You did.
Woohoo.
There was a reason I was
Let
talking
me tell
about
you,
that.
we'll think about what your reason is, but I'm telling you.
Go ahead. What have you got?
I'll give you my book recommendation. So I actually really did like the 5-Star Weekend. It's super like not thoughtful. Like you don't have to think about it. Like
No,
you're
and
just totally listening.
Sometimes when I read a really heavy book, I go into a book like that after just to like, I don't want to think hard sometimes.
Run, Rose, Run by James Patterson, Not My Husband, and Dolly Parton. And then Not My First Rodeo by Kristi Noem. Not to be political at all, but my father-in-law asked me to read that book because he happens to, I think, have a crush on Kristi. He really likes her a lot.
Okay.
Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. Oh. And the one that I want to read, how do you discover what you put on your like wish list? They talked about it on the Today Show today.
I don't know how.
Oh, was it under Discover? Where do I have my ones that say?
Go to profile.
Profile. It comes out tomorrow. Oh, maybe I'll figure out.
Figure out
what it is.
So
but
now.
I like nonfiction better, which is so
you
weird.
Said that.
I'm a nonfiction girl.
I love to get like lost in a story.
Oh, wish list. You just click on there.
There you go.
Lead like you mean it.
Okay.
It comes out tomorrow. She's on the Today Show. She has this like gorgeous African American woman.
And leadership.
It's about your life. It's kind of like I think she's a life coach or something like that.
Have you ever read anything by like Simon Sinek? Like he does.
I've not read his.
Okay, so he does a lot. I've actually read a few of his. He does some great leadership books. If you're ever
just in her little snippet that she was talking, I'm like, I want to read that because I feel like I want to read through it, but I feel like it might be good for our kids too.
Sure.
Because it just was talking about goals and different things, and I feel like she would be really interesting just based on how she talks.
For sure.
That I would want to listen to her book. So I don't know. I might do it, but my husband did say, "Did you activate your Audible account? Because I got a charge."
Oh, you got busted.
He didn't care, but he's like, "Did you cancel it?" I said, yeah, I actually did.
But you still get 30 days of it.
Afterwards? But I don't get credits. I think I'm done with my credit.
No.
I already used one credit.
But if you ever want to know a sneaky way to...
Yeah, what is it?
You can
return the book?
You can return the books after you've read them on Audible. It only lets you do so many. And so I don't feel sneaky because they know that people do this. But you basically can return them and get credits after you've read them. Like you could probably
I got to figure that out. Oh, we'll try this after. Yeah. And then maybe I could get the book I want to read.
Credit. Right, exactly. So, I don't know. It's just my illegal things to teach you on our podcast. So, in case you're wondering of other things to do.
Did you figure out what it was that you wanted to share?
No, I don't know. There was a reason I was talking about
You were talking about books. You were talking about reading, listening together.
I don't know. I'm trying to book a vacation. I'm trying to book a vacation, but not until next summer.
Summer of 2026.
I'm looking to take the kids. My kids have never been on a cruise. And Tom and I love cruises. So
we are looking
to do a cruise next summer. Either a cruise or an all-inclusive, but we're leaning towards a cruise.
If you have ideas, if anybody wants to sponsor.
If anybody would like to sponsor or has a hookup with Royal Caribbean for our massive following.
You know the one?
I would go on it.
Okay, I decided I need to be a person that watches and listens to commercials and like programming to see if it resonates with the consumer.
Yes.
Because I can tell you what works for me like a tea. I want to go on a princess cruise. Because the lady from Ted Lasso, who's really a Broadway star.
I love
what's
her.
Her name?
Hannah Waddingham.
It's the Love Boat. And she makes me want to go on a princess cruise.
Okay.
Because she sings and she pours the champagne on top. And
so this is funny because Tom and I have always done Royal Caribbean. And we were just saying last night, maybe we should look at a different cruise line.
We'll look at Princess because Hannah really likes it. And she sat in a really nice chair.
Some of them are like, I feel like a more mature crowd.
I don't think Princess
I don't know
if
if Princess
I think that's Viking.
No, there's another one. Viking is like American, isn't it? Like
Viking is, I don't know.
American cruises like throughout.
They don't do just American.
Oh, they don't?
No, that's
Viking. No, Viking.
No. I know what you're talking. It's like all American tourists.
Yes.
My in-laws did one.
Correct. Yes.
I'm not quite ready for those. I know what
Viking
yet.
is.
Viking is just elite, but yet an older
maybe
crowd.
Norwegian is what I'm thinking of, though. It's not Viking. I know what Viking is. We cannot afford Viking in any way. So
neither can we. We can't even afford to take our family on a regular
we can't.
cruise.
I mean, honestly, like I was saying to Kristin yesterday that we looked up Caribbean cruises for next year, and granted, we are a little snobby when it comes to which boats we want to go on. So I will own that. Like that's fine. But we've cruised a lot.
Dana likes the life of luxury.
I just can't afford it. But we have cruised a lot. So it's like I want to do the bigger boats and
You want the water slides.
I want it all, yeah.
I want to dangle off the side of the cruise
for
ship.
sure. And so to go to the Caribbean, it's anywhere, and we want a balcony room. For our family,
because you want to go southern or like western.
We would go southern,
sure.
yeah. And so like I want to go like Aruba, and for our family, it's a minimum for a balcony room. The cheapest we have found was like $2,000, $1,800, $2,000. We could do a balcony room on the same size boat, Royal Caribbean, to Spain and Italy for $1,500 a person. Why is that cheaper? I cannot understand it. Like, and I hear all the time that it's cheaper to travel to Europe than it is to travel within the United States. And I think that like it might be
true.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
once you get there, the flights are sometimes expensive right now.
Right. So, I mean, and this is like a year and a half away that we would even be discussing this vacation, but it is something to like think.
It is fun. It's fun to plan a vacation. Like once it's planned, you have that exciting like countdown.
Like this is, I mean, and not that we're not excited for what we have to come this year, but they're smaller, you know, a little more like.
Yeah, but we don't do a trip. We don't do a family vacation because in the summertime we have strawberries and we have 4-H and we have like all the shows and our vacations, like our trips are the shows.
Correct.
In a lot of the situations.
Yeah, like you guys are always gone like the whole month of July basically because of like fair and stuff. Like I feel like you guys are gone a lot in July.
We're gone, yeah, because we have that all-American sheep show.
Mm-hmm. So, and like, yeah, June is strawberries. And then for me, like end of July, beginning of August, I start prepping for fall, for hiring and everything.
We have State Fair first part of August. Yeah, but our school released the next 3 years of the calendar and we start later, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. I did see that. We start a little later, which is nice.
So I was sad because these are the last 3 years that really matter for our family in the school calendar because everybody will be out of high school.
Are you still going to be my friend like when you don't have kids in school anymore?
I don't know. It depends if Joey likes me.
He's not going to.
I mean, I got the kid his ice cream.
Yeah, he did dance at your house last
night.
Oh
my gosh! Okay,
I got it
we
on
have
video.
to talk about this. Did you? So Dana's now concluded when we want to leave her house early, it's because we go home and line dance in our living room.
It's the weirdest thing. Like the last 2 times I've been there, not the last 2 times, but like it has happened twice, where we've been sitting around after dinner and they're line dancing, like country music. Line dancing.
And you got in on it too.
Yeah.
We were convinced. We discussed that we think you like it.
Some of it, but I tried the one I had never done before, the fishing in the dark.
Yeah,
one.
that's fun. You sit down and clap your hands.
We got Joey to do it.
You get to touch the cute boy's leg beside you.
Yeah, but it was like Jack next to me, so I felt super uncomfortable.
I know,
but like I felt uncomfortable because I've got 16-year-old Jack next to me last night, and I'm like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah, well, it's fine. It's fine. We were talking about line dancing, so we're super excited that in a couple weeks they're going to be breaking ground in our barn. And
it's so exciting.
Like we've like progressed forward. Like we've picked out doors and we've picked out window colors and like all the things. And so I'm like, I have this great idea, kids, because Jack really wants to host like a big dance, like for line dancing. And I'm like, we should host it in our barn, like when it's brand new and everybody can come. And they were like pointing, they're like, we were talking about the same thing. Aww. They were so excited. So I'm like, we should have like a barn dance.
It'll be like, like a ribbon cutting, like a big, like.
We can make a big to-do of it. It'll be very fun. So anyways, I was laughing, but the kids thought it was a fun idea too.
Oh, I think that's really neat.
I don't know. I thought they might think I'm dorky.
You are, but I think it's really cute.
So
you're super dorky.
I mean, I am, but I would like it. I would dance.
It's fine.
As long as I don't pee my pants.
I think that would be a little more embarrassing for them even than it would be for you. I had something else I wanted to talk about. I can't for the life of me remember. I don't know. I've got nothing.
You've got nothing. We're at 18:21. We have like one more thing to talk about. I wish you could remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either. Did you have a nice Valentine's Day?
We did. I love Valentine's Day. Parker turned 15 and a half. Parker got his temp. So that was exciting. Like super happy for Valentine's Day for us. And we had family dinner last night. Cheeseburger, fried rice, and like 0-degree temperatures.
Like a legitimate blizzard. Yes. A legitimate blizzard last night.
Poor Tom. And Tom and Danna were like, having a little moment that apparently was too fresh to like re-bring up because he got mad.
He's not happy with me. So we got in a fight a few days ago.
First of all, my husband would have killed me if I would have brought this back up because Bill does not like to talk about when he's, first of all, wrong.
I have noticed that. Like last week, I told Bill that I was right about something. It was literally about where a river runs, and he could not.
Oh, he could not repeat.
He couldn't do it.
You are correct, Danna.
I said, just say I'm right. He said, well, I was not correct with what I said.
Yeah,
and I was like, right, but just say that I'm right. And he couldn't do it.
But anyways, Bill and I were loving it because like basically they were fighting the whole same fight again. And so Tom storms out our squeaky sliding door. He was so
mad at me.
And he just cooked.
He's mad because I got mad at him the other night because I came home and nothing had gotten done what I asked for. And it turned into, it always turns in, it escalated.
But I would like to say that Tom does do a lot, because there's no way that my husband would like do all the things that you leave for him
to be clear,
to do.
I will be the first to admit, like my husband
really
does a ton. I'm very, very grateful. This one specific night, he did not do what he asked me, do you want me to do anything? I said, yes, do X, Y, and Z. I came home, he didn't do them. I was mad. And the house was wrecked. So it turned into a much bigger fight than it needed to be. And then he told me some not nice things, like that I sit on the couch like a bum, which I do not, but he felt
he has pictures.
He took a picture of me sleeping on the couch the other day.
This is getting
and
hardcore.
He literally threw it in my face. So it's fine. I am not in an abusive relationship. Don't worry.
No, Tom just has to go out in 0 degrees and cook our dinner.
Be, but I am not.
We were frankly finding it to be entertaining.
So then he was cooking dinner in 0 degree blizzard, and I just kept knocking on the window, waving to him, and it did not.
I suggested you might.
He did not find it as funny as I did. So
yeah,
he's a lucky man.
It was very entertaining.
It's fine.
So we had a nice Valentine dinner, and then my family had another Valentine dinner tonight, which if you follow Local Farm Mom,
I saw.
I posted some more pictures.
I can't believe you've eaten already. It's quite early.
Well, we had to because the children had to leave the house.
I haven't even started cooking, and I'm gonna go. They want cutlets.
So they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back for their cake.
Oh, okay.
They haven't had cake yet.
Fry up chicken cutlets now starting at almost 7:00 tonight.
I'm gonna go home and clean toilets and scrub the floor.
All right. I'd rather make.
I know,
chicken cutlets,
right?
So meh. Okay.
Well, friends.
Hi, I'm Danna.
Oh,
you hit the wrong
button.
Here too, Mom. What a way to end.
We could stop it, and the only way I know to stop it
won't.
is to
It's turned down the volume.
All
right. No, it's still going.
It's still going.
Well, guys, I hope you have a great week.
Until next time, friends. We're Miss Mac.